NCSoft's newest acquisition, or like creation, or whatever, has jumped into closed beta testing, and that is Blade and Soul. I mean, well, actually, it jumped into closed beta testing like a week ago, but I didn't get a key until Friday, so, you know what, fuck all y'all. I guess I'm just not popular enough to get fucking beta keys. Come on, Blizzard, prove me wrong. Coming out later this year from the people who brought us an early funeral for City of Heroes comes Blade and Soul, a Chinese martial arts themed MMORPG by a Korean developer, which includes a Japanese art style. Hey man, I guess if you're gonna do a cultural melting pot, you go big or you go home. But I've only got 3 days to try this out, so let's get this road on the show. First up, we've got character creation, and boy did they give us a hell of a lot of options here. I mean, you've got human, you've got other human, you got strangely female human, and you've got animal people. God, am I the only person who doesn't get the whole animal people thing? Like, every Eastern MMO has one. Like, what is with the inexplicable tiny animal people? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do they all have them? Out of the 7 classes available right now, I think I'm gonna go with a Kung Fu Master, because we would both share a deep and all-consuming love of punching shit. And then, like all MMORPGs these days, we dive right into customizing how your character looks. But no matter what you do, you're pretty much going to be an 8 out of 10 on the Notice Me Senpai scale of anime dudes. Seriously, I tried to make the fattest dude I could, and I still had rippling abs. Oh, good God. Jesus Christ, what is wrong with your eyes? They're like bulging out of your head. What the shit, dude? You need to see an optometrist like right now. But after a long and exacting process of customizing my character to look exactly like me, I headed right into the world, and I was plunged directly into the universe of Blade and Soul. Apparently, literally, as I'm being fished out of a lake. What do we have here? Oh, it's just another hero of legend. Throw it back. Before we get to enjoy the game, though, we're treated to a wonderful flashback in which we are introduced to a colorful cast of characters who most certainly won't get killed off in under 5 minutes to increase dramatic tension.
Well, go on. Get dressed.
Look, lady, we just met. You mind turning around while I'm getting changed here? It's kind of creeping me out. I mean, look at these guys. We've got the perky female student, the lazy male student, the hard-ass instructor, the rabbit master, and the guy who's most certainly not going to turn around and betray everybody and oh, there it is. Oh, there they go. No! What's her name? And they give them the most dramatic deaths possible, too. Like, they're trying to ratchet up the tension. I have known burritos longer than I know most of these people. I could really care less. I just want to punch something in the face. But finally, after the goth kids from the local high school are done roughing up a bunch of old people, we get into the game itself.
Should I go and finish the job? Don't bother. No one survives the Black Rose.
What is famous last words? Sometime later, we awaken in a bamboo village to another beautiful woman. I guess that's just kind of what happens in this game. And we are off on our grand adventure, which takes us immediately to the first glowing yellow symbol over someone's head we see, so that we can begin the long chain of quests that will represent our eventual victory. Come on, guys, I just want to punch something. So as I said, this was a Korean MMORPG, which means there's certain elements you can probably expect. The big one is get ready for the questing train. You're gonna be chasing after that yellow triangle for the next 45 levels. I kinda had the same issue with Final Fantasy XIV. World building is great, and it's a really cool way to do it through quest text, but give people a way to kinda opt out of that. Because while in Final Fantasy XIV you might not necessarily level an alt, in this game there's a fair chance that you might, and it could get really irritating that it takes 10 seconds even to just spam your way through quest text. I get it. You want me to collect some bear asses so that you don't starve. Have you considered just saying, can you go and collect me these bear asses, I'll pay you? Maybe then people wouldn't just ignore you and you wouldn't be starving. The point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of quest text in this game, especially for side quests, and a lot of it feels very superfluous. There's no real point to it being there other than world building, but even then, it just feels like filler to me, which I don't like. That said, that could be just a personal nitpick that comes out of my own experience. I'm not sure. Some people like to read more than I do. Some people like to read less than I do. I generally read quest text, but this one has been going a little overboard. I just want to punch things. So one thing I'll say though now, to get off of the gloomy topic of the quest text, is the zones are freaking beautiful. Like, this game is just, it's a joy to look at. Everything that this game tries to put together is just gorgeous. There are incredible scenes and zones. The Dragon Pulse system, which allows you to quickly travel around zones, gives you this eyeful of just the beauty of the design of these areas. It's not just in the graphical fidelity, which is pretty on par with things you'd see come out these days, but the way the zones are constructed. You really get that Asian theming and stylization just floods every single bit of it. It's gorgeous. Alright, we've been talking about it this whole time. It's time that we got off our asses and punched something right in the face. Let's do it. It's time. Let's see if this game's combat lives up to the hype. Holy shit! This combat's actually fucking awesome! Man, I have not had this much fun punching things in the face since my last relationship. Combat in Blade and Soul is intense and visceral. It feels like there's a ton of weight behind every hit you land. Punching somebody feels like you're breaking bones and shattering muscle. You are taking people to town. You are beating the shit out of people. And it feels great. Combat, at least for the Kung Fu Master, makes heavy use of combos, stringing together certain abilities and certain status effects in order to have a real effect on an enemy. For example, when an enemy throws a punch, I can counter it. Immediately after countering, I can Iron Shoulder to knock them back, utilize a leading punch to charge them, punch them in the face, then pin them and finish them off with a 3-smack blow directly to the head. It's awesome. It feels great to pull that kind of shit off. It's got a depth and complexity you'd probably find in a God of War game. Though ridiculously fun, the combat may be more oriented towards PvP in my opinion, but we'll have to see on release. I see a lot of bosses, and I guess fighting them was mostly just kind of straightforward beatdowns. And the PvP was actually really fun with the combo system and having to predict your enemy and try and catch them off guard with different attacks. It's actually pretty solidly interesting. The combat in Blade and Soul just kind of kicks ass and really brings the game together, filling out the noir, over-the-top kung fu movie feeling that permeates the entire thing. It's not perfect, the questing's a bit bland, the story's a little bit hit or miss, but if you really want to punch someone in the face, it's a good game to keep your eye on. There's a lot of other interesting aspects of the game I haven't really touched on because I haven't really done much of them. Things like factions, but I hope to be able to touch on them maybe in a later video some other time. But for now, our mighty Kung Fu Master's quest is at an end, because the 3-day beta period is over, and you know what they say, the world must wait until full release, or like the next beta weekend. If you really adore old-school Kung Fu and over-the-top action, it might be worth taking a look at Blade and Soul. And it definitely would be worth taking a look later next year when it goes free to play. But until then, we wait until the next chance to punch some face again. Why, hello there, and thank you very much for watching this video on Blade and Soul here at the Orange Hatter. I had a good time with it. It's a good time. Might be something worth checking out. But thank you very much. I appreciate it when you guys watch these videos. It makes me super happy to know that you guys like them. If you did enjoy this video, I encourage you to support this channel by liking or subscribing or leaving a comment down below so we can chat. I love chatting with you guys. You guys are awesome. But thank you very much again. You guys are the best there ever was. And you all have a great one.
That's what I'm talking about. That's not true. So, what's the matter? Like this? Huh? Like, hey, you.